and welcome to another exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ron, your host, and I'm welcoming you to my review of The Uninvited from 2009. Yes, folks, we're heading back to the DreamWorks, I don't know if you can see it, the DreamWorks library. I'm showing it to you right here. Yep, DreamWorks, to talk about a movie called The Invited. Now, before I go on and talk about my review, and it's going to be a great one, there was a little known film I did cover on the channel, I think last year. The little known film called The Return. Now, The Return actually made it on, I believe it was on my best list or honorable mentions list. I think it was on my best list. But anyways, great movie because this parallels into The Uninvited. But the tagline on the front says, from the producers of The Ring and Disturbia. Yes, for those who don't know, The Ring was actually a remake to a Japanese horror film called Ring U. And I have not watched this in years, and I haven't reviewed on the channel, so we'll get to that one later on we'll get to that one down the road someday. But The Uninvited is actually a remake to a South Korea film, I think, in 2003. I think it was Korea made a little known film called The Tale of Two Sisters. Thus, in 2009, DreamWorks snatched it up, picked up the rights, and remade it as The Uninvited. So this is a movie that's directed by the Guard brothers. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. The Guard brothers. This stars Emily Browning, Elizabeth Banks, Erilyn Keeble, and David Stratham. So, yeah, now I got out of the way. What did I think of The Uninvited? And I'm going to tell you right now, this is a great movie. This is a masterpiece. And a masterpiece in filmmaking. Let's talk about this movie. So, anyways, the movie, for some reason, the movie was produced by Ivan Reitman. Yes, the Ivan Reitman produced this movie. So, let's go ahead and read the plot right here. The Uninvited, following the suspected death of their mother, sisters Anna and Alexis became enslaved and entitled in a death battle of wills when their father becomes engaged to Rachel, their mother's former caretaker. As the two sisters investigate Rachel's questionable past, they are confined with ghostly visions, terrifying nightmares, and deadly consequences, all leading to an ending so shocking will send you chills down your spine. That's what Pete Hammond said of thehollywood.com. And on the front cover it says right here, a truly frightening movie experience with a shocker of an ending. And yes, talk about a shocker. I'm not going to give away that ending, but yeah, this movie is great. So, right off the beginning, we see, I believe, Emily Browning. For those who don't know who Emily Browning is, she appeared in another DreamWorks film before that, 2004's Lemony Snicket's Series of Fortunate Events. And that's how I first discovered who Emily Browning is. She also had a small role in 2002's Ghost Ship. And let me tell you right now, she is incredible. I forgot how good Emily Browning is as Anna. So, right off the bat beginning, Anna's in a mental home. So right in the beginning, we see her having these visions and dreams that something happens. So right at the beginning, a person gets killed. A house gets on fire. After that happens, we now see her at the mental institution. Yeah, I had to rewind back a couple times, and I had to start back at the very beginning to figure out what was going on. But after that, it started picking up pace. So her dad, David Stratham, is an author, and he's a writer, just completed a book, and she's engaged to, I believe, Rachel, which is Elizabeth Banks. I forgot how good Elizabeth Banks is in this type of role, but she's really good. So, eventually, Anna meets up with Alexis, the sister. So, they're bonding, the two sisters. They don't like each other at first, so right off the bat, she's waving to her as Alexis taking a swim in the lake. So she waves and meets her down. I thought she was gonna head to the lake and take a swim with her, but I was wrong the whole time. Then they meet up and the two of them start bonding and they do this whole pinky thing. Then all of a sudden, Banks doesn't like and says, "Don't F with me." And right off the bat, we see now Alexa's telling Anna, "Wow, you just flipped her bitch switch." So now the two of them decide they're going cliff diving. So they jump off cliff together, doing the pinky swear. So yeah, they bond each other and do that. And now after that fun time, they start liking each other. Then all of a sudden, Anna gets these premonitions, see these zombie-like creatures. Yeah, I just noticed there's a bit of a Ring vibe to it with these zombie creatures. So, no, I shouldn't say no. I'm sorry, the undead. So she has these weird visions of the undead. So it plays out then near the end, eventually it goes and the pendulum keeps swinging, guys. I've said that term so many times. What I like to call it, the pendulum swings. Sorry about that, guys, but the pendulum swings. Eventually, clues keep tracking up. Though I like the one scene where she sees the undead. It turns out it's her mom or sister. And then the rib, I think it's a rib roast. The roast gets dropped onto the ground, and now she's mad and wants to get the knife, I don't know what you call them to cut meat, but the whatever they're called. I have no idea what they're called. But anyway, she points that at her and wanted to kill her. Then her dad's all mad and says, "Get to bed early." And then now they have confrontation. And now she sees the ring. The mom's not like saying, her mom's like, you're gonna marry this bitch of a person? Look, I still love you. You have a ring finger? You have a ring on your finger? Yes, I'm marrying her. Come this fall, I'm gonna marry her. And they're not happy. So the two sisters try to find clues and crack down the case. So they go on different websites, and I think most of everything that I said, I don't want to say anything more about it, so that's really most of what this is. This movie is incredible because of its shock ending. Half the time I'm sitting there, again, I've watched movies before with shocking endings. In Bruges was another one that had a pretty shocking ending that times it made you want to cry, that you feel bad. I'm like doing this the whole time, and I'm just watching a movie like that. So I was like, holy crap, this is just, its ending is what makes this so powerful. The performances are strong. In fact, Emily Browning is so good, she could have its Oscar caliber performance. Her character is so emotional, you feel really bad for her, and we don't know anything else. But eventually the pendulum keeps swinging back and forth, and then we'll track down the clues of what's going on. I honestly personally think this is better than The Return, in my opinion. I love The Return. I haven't watched Ring. I haven't watched the original Korean film, original movie from Korea, so I can't say if that's any better. Also, I did watch the alternate ending, and yeah, the alternate ending wasn't good. So I'm glad they kept that. I'm glad they were wise to not put the alternate ending in the movie. If that was in the movie, then this would have been bumped down a point. But it's really powerful. I love the fact that they just, after they get done, like I said, the one scene I forgot to mention though, when they go cliff diving, after they get done from diving off, we see Anna put back on her shirt as she meets a man that's delivering all the goods. So eventually a guy delivering goods, and the mom's like, the stepmom's like, hey, drop the supplies off in the shed. The shed plays in a factor of what happens. So it's like putting a big old puzzle together. The pendulum will keep swinging and swinging and swinging until it comes full circle to that. So it will start slow like this, then rapid fire, then it will rapid fire like that. Again, folks, the pendulum swings. Like I said before, guys, it's so good. I think for a horror movie, or I wouldn't call this a horror movie. I'd call this more of a suspense or thriller. It says on the back it's a thriller, so I'm just going to count this as a thriller. Not everything has to be scary to be good. It has to, in order for it to be a thriller, it's got to thrill me. So, I love the fact when they do jump off, they go jumping off, they go basically cliff diving or jumping off the cliff. And I love that sentimental moment where they're like lock pinkies, and eventually they lock pinkies. Although eventually she goes to the sheriff's office to deliver the beads to the sheriff, but then all of a sudden she gets trapped, and Rachel and the cop holds him down to put the serum in her arm, knocking her out. So I felt it sort of reminded me a little bit of the scene in Hannibal at times. So it's like, yeah, I think I mentioned everything. Is there any flaws with this movie that I could easily say? I kind of wish the lighting was better. Then now I just hooked up a new TV, so my lighting might not be great, but I feel like the lighting could have been improved. But honestly, I can't dock at a point for what I'm going to give it, because there are so many goods. There's so many goods between the bads. Few and far between. It has more goods than it has bads. So I think I'm not going to make this video that long. So at the end of the day, guys, absolutely, I'm highly recommending The Uninvited. This movie, I'm going to tell you right now, has just qualified. I don't know yet, but I can tell you right now, this movie's going to have a spot on my 10 best list at the end of the year. It takes everything from what I reviewed, like The Return, and makes it better with that. Now, I haven't seen The Ring, so I can't really say, but The Ring is an example of how you do a horror remake. DreamWorks has been doing a great job funding all these like foreign films, like foreign horror films or foreign thriller films. They just do a great job on releasing a lot of these. They do a great job on try to remake foreign films, and this is a true example of how you can remake something to a remake I've never seen. I don't know if I'll be able to see that remake, but if I do see it on YouTube, I have to check it out, see maybe that might be better. But I'm just going to tell you right now, I love The Uninvited. It takes everything of what I love about horror, cranks it up a notch, or thriller, however you want to say. We'll just say thriller. Let's say thriller, but it's a really good chiller / thriller. And the spooks are great in this. The makeup and practical effects on them look totally real. Even at times it can feel a bit fake. I like the idea that it feels more like a thriller and a murder mystery. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, if you haven't seen Uninvited, definitely check this out. It's definitely keep your eye on this, guys. I feel like this is something Shout Factory would put out on Blu-ray or 4K in their Scream Factory division. But who knows? When I reviewed Xanadu, I said it's going to come out to 4K. I was totally right about that. So if you haven't seen Uninvited, check this movie out. Top-notch performance. Emily Browning, what an actress. She puts in a phenomenal performance. You feel that sympathy for the character, and at times I feel like at that age, I feel like at that age that I would love this most. But yeah, I still love this movie. Check it out. So let's go ahead and rate this right now. I'm going to give The Uninvited, you obviously already know what this is going to be, guys, an automatic 5 out of 5. This is a true example of how you remake a foreign film. I gotta give DreamWorks kudos. I gotta give the Guard brothers kudos. I gotta give everybody on the set. I'm trying to think who wrote this. I don't see anybody who wrote this, but screenplay, nobody I know. But it's kind of weird that it was the Guard brothers made this movie. I never even heard of these guys, but man, talk about filmmakers. I gotta give DreamWorks credit for saying, hey guys, we need another foreign film. We need you to remake another foreign film, make it like The Ring, but make it better. They're like, sure, fine. And they're like, well, who do we pitch it to? Oh, I know, DreamWorks. They did The Ring, why not? But as I said before, guys, I think that's all. Yeah, so like I said, so check out Uninvited. Good stuff, great stuff, a cinematic masterpiece. I'm telling you guys, this is the reason why I added DreamWorks to this series, because I just wanted to cover something and knock another studio off the batch, so I don't feel like I'm just reviewing just Universal movies. I'm also reviewing a company that's owned by Emblem. Universal owns Emblem. Emblem owns DreamWorks. So pendulum swings, guys. Check this film out. Really, really good stuff. So that's my review of The Uninvited. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the content on the channel, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, ring the bell to get all my video notifications so you don't miss a single video on the channel. I'm also on Letterboxd, guys, so you can check me out there as well. I also, in addition to Universal reviews, I also do Vlog City and collection updates and tons of other stuff on the channel. Like I said, guys, we're almost done with the vacation reviews. We're only down to 2 more to close out my vacation movie reviews, vacation weekend reviews, because after this week we'll go back to the 2 movie reviews per week. So I'm glad you guys are coming onto the channel and checking out all the cool stuff I put up. But like I said again, I have a DreamWorks playlist. You guys can check that out as well. So yeah, check out The Uninvited, a cinematic masterpiece. So yeah, that's it, guys. And as always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.